How you guys doing? My name is Julian. Welcome to my channel, Savage Art. What I do here in this channel is I make models, mainly model buildings. I show you one, and I'll show you how I made it. Okay? In this case, I have a liquor store. In this model, I have the liquor store. I have a parking lot for it. I have some poles, some street lights, and I have 3 different types of signs, and I have a fence. I'll show you guys how I made everything, okay? Let's start. Now the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of poster board and foam cord. This is my poster board and my foam cord. Now what you want to do is you want to figure out how big you want your model, okay? The model, I believe, is 22 by 35 inches. So once I figure that out, you cut it. So here's my poster board and my foam cord. Once I have this ready, I work on my poster board. I make the layout in pencil. I have here the street, the sidewalk, the building, and the parking lot. Now, every line here is going to be on this one here. It's going to be a wall. So it's already there for you. So after this, I'm going to put it in pen. Once I trace it in pen, it should look like this. This we're going to have in pen. Now once this happens, you could cut. What I do is I cut the pieces here. There's 2 pieces here. Plus, actually 3 pieces. The 2 pieces, I have here the property, which is the building, the sidewalk and the street, and this small piece out here for the landscape. And let me show you what I did. So once you cut this, and this right here, you have this piece right here. And then you have your main one, the building, and the sidewalk. So I made it for you to give you an idea of how it looks flat. And once you add the other pieces, this is how it should look. Now you're going to have 2 poster boards. One is to elevate the building, and the other one is to put it on under for the strength, and that's going to be your street, which is this right here. Look at. You have a poster board here and a poster board up here, and this right here is for the sidewalk. A space for the sidewalk. It elevates everything, and the entrance for the driveway for the parking lot, and that would be the same size as this right here, the same flat for the car to go in there. So now we're going to do the walls. This building has 2 different types of walls. It has a block wall and it has a regular wall in the front. Let's do the block wall. For the block wall, we start with a piece of poster board. I believe this is 10 inches by 1 3/4. After you do that, you're going to put little dots 1/8 across, all the way from the bottom to the top. Once you do that, you're going to connect the dots. Now they become lines. Now remember, all this happens in one piece of poster board. Right now, I have several because I'm showing you how, step by step, how it goes. So after you do that, you put it in pen. After the pen, you're going to get about 1/8 and put, quarter, and put little dots all the way across, top and bottom. Once you have that, you're going to connect the little dots, but you're going to skip every other line. When you do that, this is what you come up with. Every other line, and the block wall starts to form. Once this happens, you make lines, little dots for the opposite. The ones that, the solid ones, are going to be connected right now. And once you connect those, you're going to have this right here. And now your wall starts to form. Your brick wall starts to form. And see, they're formed here, and here are the little dots, which you connect to the top ones. And once you do that, you should have this right here. Once this happens, let me color here a little bit so you can see how it looks once you do that. This is red, but on this one here is brown, so either whatever you want to do, either brown or red. Most of the brick walls are either brown or red, and that's how it should come out. So once you color the whole entire thing, you're gonna put it here. But before you glue it, you're gonna put it, and then you glue the whole entire the walls around. So you should have this all the way around once you have the walls ready. Now let's do the front wall here. On this one here, this one has windows here, so let me show you how to do that, okay? For that one is you have two pieces. You have here again a piece of poster board. You figure out how high you want the windows. It's about 1 inch. And then after that, you figure out how many windows you want and where the doors are going to be at. Once you have this, you're going to cut it. Once you cut it, this is what you have. Once you have that, they have a poster board that is like shaded. See it? This is poster board right here too. Plastic. You put it in the bottom and you staple it. When you staple it, here's what you get right there. Once that happens, you're going to glue these two together. You glue them right here, and there's your windows and your doors. And this is what you have at the end when you finish. Now let's go to step 2. Step 2, which is the outside, the yellow part of the wall. Let's do that right now. And that right there, you start with I did a yellow piece of poster board. I put the outline of where the windows are at after I measured it. And you can do that by doing this right here. Look it. You do this right here. You know exactly where the windows are at, and that's how you make the line, and just connect the line. And after that, you're going to put lines a quarter across, top and bottom. Once you do that, you're going to connect the lines with a pen. Once you do that, you're going to cut this right here. After you cut it, that's what you get. After this, you get a poster board, and you could with the same with a pencil, you could trace it over to know exactly where it's going to be at. Once you do that with this poster board, you cut it. This is what you get. Once you do this, you glue this to this. Once you have this, you glue the windows and the doors to the front. And there is that's how I made my front wall, and which is exactly what you see right there. Right there. Now let's do that sign. That sign right there is basically, you cut a piece of, again, a piece of poster board. I believe this is 1, I think, by 4 inches. You make here, whatever you want to do, and whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do when you put on it, any signs, whatever. And then you put it in pen. Once you put it in pen, you align everything, and with pen, you start doing everything, and you color it in. Once you do that, these right here are stickers that are already made. And it's easier this way when you do this. It's more professional when you put these kind of stickers in there to form the part of the sign there. This is pen right here, but these are stickers here, which I got from here. And it's easier and faster this way. You just have to align them with the lines you have there, and slowly do it slowly, one by one. And this line right here I have here guides you to put them straight. And that's why I made that sign right there. As for the top one, you do the same thing, but it's going to be the opposite. You're going to put the letters from up going down. Same thing, just the opposite. And we put wires here to connect to hold the sign. That one was easy. After that, let's do the arrow sign, the entrance for the parking lot. For that one, again, it's all poster board. I did four arrows. Once I have the 4 arrows, I cut them. So I have 4 arrows. There's one sign, two signs on each side of the sign. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna end up with only two signs. So what I do is I glue these together to make them strong. And there are my 2 signs now, one on each side. Once I do that, I have 2 of them right here. They're glued already. And once you put 2 of them together, they're pretty strong. They won't bend that easy. So there are my 2 arrows for my sign. Once I have this, I start the process of doing the letters inside. So this is my first step I did. I put a smaller line about 1/8 around, all the way around the arrow. I put a smaller arrow inside the big one, and that's where I'm going to put my letters. After I do that, I start my letters. Liquor parking. Once I do that, and then I'm going to put it in pen. Once I do that, once that is ready, and then I start coloring it. This is how it looks with the yellow, and this is how it looks with the red, which is the final product. That is what you see right here. Exactly what you see right there. And here was my other side. And what I did is on this one, I put, what you do is you put 1/8, a piece of poster board around to glue both of them together. And then what I also did is this is a piece of wood. They call them dowels. This is going to be, as you can see here, I have a space here, open space here, and that's for the pole to fit wherever you need it. So it should look like this, something like this. And then I put some rods here to make it more fancier here, and another one up here. And that's exactly what you see right there. But I painted it silver. I painted it silver, so it could look like a metal. So this little pole here, you paint it silver, and it should look like a piece of metal. So that's how you did. That's that sign. Now let's go to the the fence. The fence here, that is a piece of screen that you use on the windows. And you can see right here, I have a with a marker, I draw lines. First I measure it. I believe this one is about 3 inches by 1. And so once I do that, I cut it with the scissors, and this is what I get. So after I get this, I put small little rods, one long one on top all the way across, and 3 on the side, from top to bottom, to hold it. And that becomes my fence, which is, see, aligns with this one right here, and the one over there, and that one is longer, obviously. So you can measure how long you want it, and that's how you cut the screen, and that's how you do that. And now let's do the poles. On the poles, again, there's all kinds of pieces of wood, round wood. They call them dowels. I believe this is 3/8, and you cut it any size you want or you need. And then this one here, after you cut it, you paint it. After you paint it, you're gonna get pieces of foam cord. You're gonna align them to see how long you want them. After you have that, you're going to glue them all the way around with poster board. So you're gonna have 4 pieces for each, and that's so you could that right there, so you could paint it easier. And once you have that, once you have these 2 ready, you paint them. Once you paint them, this is how it should come out. So once you do that, you're gonna put them wherever you have to, wherever you want, how you want them. And then after that, you're going to make small little circles, very tiny little circles. Pieces of metal. Well, these are pieces of poster board, but they represent metal to hold the wires. So I have 4 right here, pieces of little circles. It's poster board glued together, about 3 per circle, and I have a very tiny one right in the middle. And that tiny one, that's to give space for the wires to go across and go to the other side, like I have here. Look at. Like I have here. See right there? So you put glue right here, and you go all the way across to the other one, and once that glue's right here, you cut it after it dries. And that's how I made my poles. Now it's very important that you have 2 poster boards, because foam cords, because you're gonna make a hole right here, and that hole is gonna go all the way to the bottom to secure the pole. So that's why this way is important to have 2 where you're gonna have a pole. Same thing as over here in the sidewalk. Same thing right here. I have 2 of them. I made the hole all the way to the bottom here, so it could be strong. You put glue in there, you glue it, and it's not gonna go anywhere. Now let me show you how I made. I also have transformers here, right here. See? 2 transformers, and on those, what I made, this is a poster board. It's a 2 by 1, 2 pieces. That's gonna be one. This will be 2 transformers. Now what I do is I glue them together. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave a 1/4 on each side, and I'll tell you why. So once I have 2 pieces here, I flip it around, I turn it, and I glue it to the piece where I have the 1/4. It's perfect. It fits in perfect like a puzzle. And there's your transformer. Once you have this glued, you should have this right here. See? 2 little cylinders, open on both sides. Once you have this, you're going to get pieces of poster board, and glue it on both sides, like it is right here. Once it's glued, you cut it, and once you cut it, this is what you have: a transformer that's closed, or a piece of a little piece of tube closed on both sides. Once you do that, you're going to paint it gray to represent the the metal. Once you do that, you should have this here. See, this is, and then you get a small little piece of a small little piece, 1/8 piece of poster board to go all the way around, and that's gonna be the top of the transformer. And then you get a small little piece of little squares. Put them on the side there, very tiny, maybe a quarter by quarter, and that's gonna be, so you can glue it wherever you want to, like I did to those two right there. And that's how I made my transformers. Now let's make the roof. The roof here, it's easy. You just have to put another piece of poster board the poster board, same size as the layout of the building, of the walls, and then some foam cord to make it strong. Then you cut about 1/2 inch around to put the top of on the edge of the, you're gonna glue on the edge of the building, like I did right here, for safety, in case someone goes up there. After that, if you want to put vents or whatever you want to put up there, or air conditioners, whatever you want to put up there, this is how I made them. Little squares. Once I cut the little squares, I glue them together. This is what I have here. You glue two together. After you glue two together, you put them, you glue them together, and that's your ventilation or air conditioners, or whatever you want to call them. It's a bigger one here. See? And they're all the same on all four sides, the same thing. So once you do that, you put it. You can put them wherever you want. See? Wherever you want them. And once that takes place, so this is what you should have at the end. And for the street lights, just get some thick wire. What you do is you cut it to the size you want, and you bend it with a wire cutters, and then you add some little squares here. Also poster board. You put some you put them up here, the poster board, to represent the light. And for the street lights, the same thing. On the street lights, you color little circles, and you color them in for to represent the street lights, and just glue them in wherever you want them. And that is how I made my liquor store. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.